Shalom Israel, Brother Malak back with a biblical lesson. It's been a little minute, but we're back on cue. This lesson is kind of personal because I seen this at work actually. Well, on the work site. It was late. It was about maybe 10ish, 9:50ish. And the Spirit told me to look up. And long behold, I look up and I see these galactic, like extraterrestrial. They had to be chariots. They had to be the angels. But they were going in a straight line. I kid you not. They were going in a straight line. And as I'm looking, they're just going in a straight line and they're disappearing. They're vanishing. There had to be like 7 of them in a line, straight line, going in a straight line. And it's crazy because the Spirit said, look up, and I caught this beautiful phenomenon. You know, we're so bombarded and distracted by these daily, or I should say our daily activities, whether it be getting up, doing this, school, work, hobbies, distractions, etc., etc. But I was able to catch this by listening to the Spirit first and foremost. Something just told me just look up, and I end up looking up, and bro, it was amazing. It was 7, 8 galactic looking type. They're chariots. I know what they are. That's why the Spirit told me to look up to catch this chariot sighting. And you see these sightings, they have been very abundant lately. You know, they have been showing themselves because we're getting into those times of prophecy. And ultimately, I was kind of vexed in the Spirit, you know, that day. So I figured that was Yahweh, Bahashim Yahawashi ways of telling me it's okay, because everything that's before us and everything that's here right now is temporal. It's temporary. We tell you this all the time. All of this is temporary. The scriptures say everything here in Babylon will melt away, will burn like fervent heat. That's 2 Peter 3:12, 2 Peter 3:10. You know, so all of this stuff is temporal. It's temporary. You see all these things happening, these prophecies taking place with inflation, with gas prices, with food prices, with energy prices, wars, rumors of wars. These are all the things mentioned in Matthew chapter 24. But man, it was amazing. It was an amazing phenomenon to catch that sighting. I'll tell you what it really looked like. It looked like stars lined up with their own mental capacity, and they did a whole formation. It looked, it's crazy. It looked like 7 or 8 stars lined up in a straight line, moving. And when they got to the end of the line, so to speak, they disappeared right in thin air. And I'm sitting here catching this. Why? I'm sitting here looking up in the sky. And then after the testimony finishes, I turn around and look and ask the other people, did they see this? And you know what they told me? I didn't see anything. I was just wondering, what were you looking at? This is crazy. You can't make this stuff up, man. And this is why this lesson is very, very personal, because I seen this again with my own eyes. I seen another chariot sighting. This was way back in like 2016, I want to say. And these were the flying orbs that everybody has been catching, that do their little formation and fly about. But the scriptures tell us what these things are. These are the chariots. These are the angels. the scrolls, the scriptures, they tell us everything. They prophesy everything. Psalm 68:17, the chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai in the holy place. So we see Yahweh has his chariots round about. This is why he can see everything. This is why he can know everything, because he has his angels out and about. It's crazy, man. It was amazing. It was beautiful to see. It looked like Star Trek. It was amazing to catch these chariots. Zechariah 5. It says, then I turned, verse 1 through 4. Then I turned, and this is exactly what I did. I kind of looked up, turned and looked up. But then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, what do you see, basically? What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goes forth over the face of the whole earth. And it's only a curse to the wicked. It's only a curse to the wicked. And we know who that is. Zechariah 5:3. Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goes forth over the face of the whole earth. For every one that steals shall be cut off, as on this side, according to it. And every one that sweareth shall be cut off, as on that side, according to it. Salak. I will bring it forth, said the Lord, Yahweh, the Ancient of Days, of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. And we know who the house of the thief is. Into the house of him that swears falsely by my name. You know, you see, you hear, by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. So everything that we're saying is ultimately prophesied in scriptures. The scriptures tell us. So it's amazing. It's amazing that these individual souls were predestinated. Because once you get into these scrolls, these scriptures, you will realize there are souls out here that are predestinated for this cause alone. And what is the cause? The cause is to bring back Israel back to their God, to bring Israel back to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahawashi, to bring them back to the fold, because Israel was scattered and basically, you know, threw away into these different captivities and has been going through vexation and vanity forever. So, you know, that's basically what it is. And ultimately, it's bigger than that. You know, it's humanity now. It's humanity. It's the heathen nations and the Israelite nations, the chosen people. Both have been going through this, these turmoils. But this is what this thing is about. It's about the elect. We don't know if we're the elect or not. You know, that's why we say we're the hopeful elect. As you hear the brothers and sisters say, as you hear everybody say, that's in this truth, that knows this Bible. This Bible is the realest thing ever. And I know the spirit world is real. I know the spirit realm is real because there's two sightings that I caught, two phenomenal testimonies. And then I have testimonies of myself fighting against these left-hand spirits. So I know the spirit world is realer than what we think. You know, who you ignorantly call God and Jesus, they're realer than what you think. And these higher ups, these evil heathens at hand, they know this. That's why they go off in their blood rituals and blood sacrificing and drink blood and do all the abominable wicked acts that they do on high in secrecy, because they know the spirit realm is realer than the physical realm, because everything takes place in the spiritual realm. Ezekiel 1:4, and I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself, I actually have video. There's actually video of this. It says, and I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof as the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire. There's actually footage of this, Ezekiel 1:4, of this angel doing the same thing as saying, fire withfolding within itself with a brightness of amber. We actually have it on video, and it's crazy. It's amazing. It's actually amazing. Ezekiel 1:16, the appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto the color of a beryl, and they four had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. That's that wheel within the wheel, man. Ezekiel's wheel, the angels. You know, you have different, I'm going to go into that. That may be a lesson as well, the different ranks of the angels. I remember back in the day, I knew where that chapter and verse was at, but I got to find it again. I didn't read Ezekiel. I'm pretty sure I read the whole book of Ezekiel, but I got to go back to where it states the different ranks of the angels. Ezekiel 1:19, and when the living creatures went, the wheels went by them. And when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up. Wheresoever the spirit was to go, they went. Thither was their spirit to go, and the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. See the wheels within the wheels, Ezekiel's wheels, the angels, those wheels that's within the wheels with the eyes around the bottom, those are the angels. The chariots, these celestial beings that's up there in the heavens. And it's crazy that I caught this, because this is pure testimony, and it also proves that we be so busy with our day-to-day that we miss and don't catch spiritual things all the time. It be spiritual things happening right before us, and we don't catch it because we so busy with our day-to-day. So it was amazing that Yahweh allowed me to catch that. This is why this lesson is out, but it's amazing. And everybody's talking about it. You have Chariots, UFO chasers, UAP chasers. You have your damn Gov releasing files on these UFOs and these chariots and whatnot. These things are real. They're realer than real. They're the wheels within the wheels. They're the angels. They're the chariots. Ezekiel 1:21. They're watching everything. They're watching everything, and they're going to eradicate Babylon. And I'm going to get another scripture that's going to put all this into play, because you're literally living in a galactic celestial movie. Most common folk don't realize this. The way that the Savior is coming back for the second coming is mentioned in 2nd Esdras 13. It's going to be an invasion. It's going to be an invasion, and we always harp on this. I always harp on this. The invasion is going to be like a movie, like a Hollywood movie. Ezekiel 1:21. When those went, these went, and when those stood, these stood, and when those were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creatures was in the wheels. Ezekiel's wheels. So it's amazing. It's amazing. And let's start tagging on that. Start tagging on that, man, because it always leads up to Yahawashi, HaMashiach, Yahawashi. Everything leads up to him, man. All glory to Yahawashi. Barakatah Yahawashi, Barakatah Yahawashi, Barakatah Yahweh, the Ancient of Days, the Father. These celestial spiritual beings are worthy, more than worthy, to be praised, because they created everything. Yahweh was basically the blueprint, and then Yahawashi was basically the construction worker, the craftsman. I learned that in Colossians 1, that Yahawashi created everything. Isaiah 66:15-16. Let's get into it, because this is basically what all this is leading up to. Isaiah 66:15-16. For behold, the Lord will come with fire. Who is the Lord in this case? This is talking about Yahawashi HaMashiach, who you people ignorantly call Jesus Christ. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind to render. See, with his chariots, those are the angels, the chariots, whirlwinds. You had a movie that just released called Nope, and it was talking about the chariots in the wind and basically materializing themselves into clouds, cloaking themselves as clouds and whatnot. Isaiah 66:15, for behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. And that is what these things are coming to do. Isaiah 66:16, for by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. So this is why we always prophesy. Because before Yahweh brings destruction to a nation, he sends out his prophets. He puts his spirit upon all flesh for them to prophesy as well, too. So don't be shocked when you see the heathen nations having spiritual testimonies of his coming or what's to come. Because Yahweh is the God of all flesh. Hebrews 12:9, if I'm not mistaken. He controls it all. Sirach 18:1-3. Sirach 1:8. He is the Dandada of all. But it's crazy. But all of this is leading up to exactly what Isaiah 66, the prophet Isaiah 66:15-16 is stating. But let's get the end look or a end clue on how Yahawashi HaMashiach is coming back. 2nd Ezra 13, one of my favorite books and chapters and verses. 2nd Ezra 15, rather, I should say. No, Salak. 2nd Ezra 13. It says, and it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea. So this dream he dreamed was a vision that Yahweh gave unto him. It moved all the waves thereof. And behold, and lo, that man waxed strong. Who is that man? That is Hamashiach, Yahawashi, a Judite from the tribe of Judah, a so-called Negroid black man. This is what you people fail to realize. Y'all been vexing and envying and hating all the black men on this planet. But surely a black man, the irony, is coming to save the world. It's coming to save the planet. 2nd Ezra 13:3, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. Who is the thousands? Those are the angels. Those, these chariots that people are seeing, these sightings, these UFOs and things of this nature, which people can't really put their hands on. But the Bible puts its hold arm on it, puts it in a chokehold. The Bible is telling you what these things are and telling you what's going on in these latter times of this kingdom here. 2nd Ezra 13:3, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burnt that heard his voice, like as the earth fell when it feels the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man. So you have these armies that's going to try to subdue him, just like a Hollywood movie, man. The second coming is just like a Hollywood movie. Stan Lee couldn't write this like the Bible is writing this, like our prophets, our ancestors, our people is writing this. This thing is going to be so dramatic and beautiful and amazing and scary and all the emotions that Stan Lee and all those good actors and good directors and writers can't match what Yahweh has planned for his son's second arrival. 2nd Ezra 13, it says, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. And that sea is coming out of the firmament, because you have waters above, just like you have waters below. But that's a whole nother topic. 2nd Esdras 13:6. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain. Look at that. You see these chariots, you see these UFOs, you see these flying objects all in the air, doing these formations and disappearing and coming in, coming out of portals and whatnot. Hamashiach Yahawashi, 2nd Esdras, his vision of the second coming, it says that who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ, a black man, indeed, a Negroid, indeed, is coming back flying on a great mountain. 2nd Esdras 13:6. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. But I would have seen the region or place. So Esdras is saying this thing is so huge, you would have seen it. It was so huge. And we always harp on this. The prophets, the teachers, we always harp on this. It's like the movie Independence Day with, I think that's Vivica Fox, Will Smith, my mans that play in Jurassic Park, the first two, forget his name, but that he's coming back on this flying chariot, this flying road, this massive flying road. 2nd Esdras 13. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together, these are the armies of these different heathen nations, because they're going to be warring with one another. The valley of Jehoshaphat, the valley of decision. They're going to be warring, World War III. But in the midst of World War III, boom, you have Yahawashi and the angels coming. So you can't write a better Hollywood movie than the Bible. You can't write anything better than the Bible. The Bible is just, it's amazing. It's astounding. 2nd Esdras 13, especially when you unlock the keys of the Bible and understand who it's talking about and what's to come and such and such. 2nd Esdras 13:8, reading on. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet durst fight. And yet did fight, basically. Verse 9. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. I don't know if that's laser beam, like, you know, they I keep telling you that Superman is really black. I keep telling you that Superman is really who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ. Yahawashi Hamashiach. He's a black man. Superman is really a black man. And he's based off 2nd Esdras 13, Yahawashi Hamashiach, that's in the Bible. That's basically what it is, man. 2nd Esdras 13:11. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which were prepared to fight. And we know that multitude is these different armies of these different nations, you know, these heathen nations. And you're going to have Israelites within these armies, because that's just what it is. That's how it played out. You know, you have Israelites that became different army men and women. So it's gonna be something to see. And like I always say, all eyes will see him. He says this. You have these false Christians telling you that it's gonna happen and no one's gonna see it. But the Bible tells you that all eyes shall see him. All eyes. Let's even type that up. All eyes shall see him. See his coming. I think that's in Revelations. All eyes shall see him. You know, Tupac, all eyes on me. But this is not Tupac, my friend. This is Hamashiach, Yahawashi, the one that created Tupac, the one that created you and me and I in this world. Yahawashi, Hamashiach, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. This is Revelations 1:7. Behold, he come with clouds. Those clouds are the chariots, the angels. And every eye shall see him. Do you hear that, Christians? Every eye shall see him. And they also which pierced him. And all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen. And with that, I want to say, Kohalayim La Yahweh Bahashem Yahawashi Bahashem Kadash. All glory to Yahweh and Yahawashi. It's amazing.